Representative of Turkey to the European Union, Consul General of Turkey in Basra, Ambassador of Turkey to Iraq, and was the Chief Foreign Policy Advisor to Turkey's EU Minister and Chief Negotiator and Director for EU Communication. Ambassador Kaymakçı, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Özgür Hanım. Dear Rectors Mogherini, Sinanoğlu, dear Nikolaos, dear friends from İKV, from the Core Consular in Istanbul, dear panelists, dear participants, first of all, I would like to congratulate your Europe Day from the Directorate for EU Affairs from Ankara. I don't think Nikolaos meant Europe when he said, outside Europe. I guess he was trying to say outside the EU, but you are in Europe, in Turkey. Nikolaos, I want to stress this. Sometimes the word Europe and EU is confused. As a candidate country, a European country, we know the difference, so we want to make sure that everything is understood clearly. And of course, it is interesting to speak in front of your rector, because I'm a graduate of the College of Europe, and I feel like a student today. And actually, to get the spirit, I also came to work on bike, because in Bruges, I used to, bike to the college. So I guess I am in the spirit of a College of Europe student today. And so I can be assertive, with some strong claims about the EU. Actually, I wrote my thesis with Professor Wessels, on global actorness of the EU towards Turkey. So it was very interesting, and I had to study, many theories about global actors, and the prerequisites for any global actor. But today, it is not theory. I will talk about realities and the practices that I had to go through my career, also in Brussels, but also in the rest of the world. Today's realities are really forcing the EU to be a global actor. Of course, Federica said that the EU is an international actor, but the question is how effective the EU is in terms of being a global actor. I think in order to get to that point, we still need to make a lot of progress in terms of EU's assets, EU's capacities, EU's decision-making mechanism, and also EU's strategic thinking. We have the US back on the scene. Of course, we can see the US as a part of our transatlantic relations, and we can see ourselves on the same side as the West, but the EU wants to get some autonomy, so we want to get something more European altogether. But in order to go on this line, I think we should be able to face the rise of Asia and the rise of China, and the assertiveness of Russia, in these days. So when I look at the EU side, I can easily say that in order to be a strong and effective global actor, I think the EU needs to improve its decision-making mechanism. 27 countries coming together, and the European Commission now with the External Action Service and the European Council, it is not easy to take a decision quickly. And especially, the veto system and the veto right is really killing, I think, the EU's ability to act fast and also, to act concretely. When I say to act concretely, sometimes just to please all member states, we have a position, but which is already empty, which is already very weak. So I don't know. Of course, in the past, through some treaties, we had some formula, but which was not really fully implemented. Some sort of enhanced cooperation, I think, is definitely needed, and maybe we should be working on maybe some sort of double qualified majority voting instead of the unanimity clause. And I think if there is vital interest for any member states, then we should also be talking about blocking minority in the decision-making mechanism. I think this is the key, because in order to be a global actor, the EU needs to take a decision, and there we have a lot of issues. And also, we need to develop some sort of common strategic thinking. And I know Madame Mogherini worked very hard. EU had some strategy, and that strategy actually laid down some foundations for strategic thinking. And now with the compass that we have, strategic compass, which is still being developed, I think as a continent, as Europe, of course, for the time being, we are talking about only the EU. We need to have a strategic thinking, the common interest of the EU and common interest of Europe. I think this is still lacking. Why? Because unfortunately, EU's foreign policy is also mostly based on the national positions of some of the member states. Of course, some are more assertive, some are more cooperative, but the nationalization of the EU's foreign security and defense policy, and also EU's enlargement policy, nationalization of enlargement policy, is, I think, tying the hands of the EU when it comes to take action. Internal divisions within the EU, I think this will always exist, but with the European strategic thinking, with the European vision, what we can do is maybe we can overcome these internal divisions. And also, let me underline one important factor in terms of institutions of the EU. I think today we see a more assertive European Council than, and then of course, less assertive European Commission. If we remember the European treaties, we created the European Commission to defend our common European interest. And today, as a candidate country, I don't see the European Commission, playing its full role in terms of European strategic interest and European vision. But I see more and more the European Council and also the Council of European Union to defend of the national interest. Maybe it is because we need some sort of digestion. Some member states started becoming more assertive. Maybe we went too far and too fast in the European integration process that we got some reactions from the member states. But somehow this, I think, right balance has to be brought back to the European system. Otherwise, we will be paralyzed when we need to take important actions, for example, on Russia, on China, on Belarus, on Palestine, on the East Med, and everything. Talking about the nationalization of EU's foreign policy, security and defense policy, maybe you might think that I will exaggerate, but I'm not exaggerating. Cyprus is also, I think, a complicated problem for EU's global actors. Why I am saying this? Because I think EU has imported the Cyprus problem without a solution on the island of Cyprus. And this Cyprus problem is poisoning our relations in many ways. Not only Turkey's accession process, but also because of the Cyprus problem, we cannot have a good NATO-EU cooperation. Why? Because Cyprus is blocking Turkey's membership to European Defense Agency. Cyprus is blocking Turkey's security agreement with the EU. And we are not, still not welcome to PESCO or CART or to European Defense Fund. And of course, Turkey is not going to allow the Greek Cypriots to have full access to NATO. So because of this, I think we have issues, and this is something which should not be neglected or underestimated. I think without a Cyprus problem, things would have been completely different today. So I am talking about of course, EU's global actorness, and I think Nikolaos mentioned many important aspects of Turkey-EU relations. I think Turkey would be the best and the most important asset, especially after Brexit, after UK left the EU. So Turkey would be the best asset for the EU in terms of many capabilities, many capacities, and many tools. Of course, geostrategy is still, there. So with its geostrategy, Turkey is an important asset for a future global actor EU. In terms of energy security, in terms of outreaching the Middle East and the Islamic world, Turkey is a big asset with a predominantly Muslim population, but with a secular state understanding and approach. So I'm not going to, try to explain the benefits of Turkish membership to the EU, but what I can say is that, if we take the previous enlargements, previous memberships, and the future memberships towards the Western Balkans, I can still claim that Turkish accession would be the most beneficial accession to the EU. And through this accession, I think EU, if it wants to be a real global actor, I think Turkey has a lot to contribute. And this is why I also claim, as someone who served in Iraq for 6 years, if Turkey and the EU had been able to act together in 2001, in 2002, we could have prevented, the conflict, the internal, war at that time in Iraq. If we had acted together in 2010 towards Syria, I think today the Syrian internal war would have been prevented. So the mere presence of Turkey within the EU would have changed many equations. And this is important. And this is why I am saying that global actorness can only come with weight, with influence, and with the impact capacity. Turkey is, I think, one of the very rare countries in Europe which can contribute to this. Maybe on also some challenges that the EU is facing, Nikolaos mentioned them, in terms of irregular migration, which is one of the biggest threats to European stability today. Turkey is playing its key role. And in terms of counterterrorism against Daesh and the foreign terrorist fighters, but also at home in our countries, we should also be more vigilant about radicalization and also integration of the Muslim communities, especially in several Western European countries. I think also on this front, Turkey's closer relation with the EU and actually eventually membership of the EU would be a great asset to face these challenges and to make every European citizen live in a comfort zone in our continent. As Nikolaos mentioned, our hope is to move as quickly as possible to positive agenda. If not possible now, at least by the latest by June. And I think Turkey-EU relations should not be a victim of a Cyprus problem, which were unfortunately imported by the EU in 2004 because of the conditions of that time. And I think this is unfair that Europe, is really bogged down in this problem. So there, I think EU can play a constructive role by also encouraging its own members not to abuse the veto right, not to abuse the EU membership solidarity. This is really unnecessary, and the current situation and the current deadlock will not take us anywhere. So we need also a visionary approach from the EU on this point. So our friend Ivana mentioned, Napoleon's preferred capital, Istanbul. I think as a global actor, maybe one day Turkey in the EU, Istanbul as a strong European capital, we can make that difference. But already, as I mentioned at the beginning of this meeting with Rector Mogherini, Istanbul is also ready to host a third campus of the College of Europe. And this can be already a global action from the College of Europe while we are waiting for a global action from the EU. Thank you very much.